Let me just say real quick that Tony has his question number 2 as who you look up to, and his third to last is who do you look up to?
Yeah,
That's why he got mixed up there.
Well, it is 2 different questions, maybe.
Yeah, I must have wrote those. I guess.
That goes back to the memory we talked about earlier.
The podcast starts now. Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the No Easy Way Out podcast. I am Tony.
I am Zach.
And we're coming to you, as always, from the Armory in beautiful downtown Owasso. Now, today is it's March.
It's definitely March, yeah.
Today is March 18th.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
That's correct, yeah.
2020, the day after St. Patty's Day. And we just want to do something different today. You know, normally we come to you with some entrepreneurial topics, and I guess our topic today could apply to any entrepreneur. We want it to apply to you. But, you know, there's a lot of things going on in the world today, and people are confused and don't know how to think. And so we wanted to just come to you today with some positivity. And so we're calling today the Positivity Podcast.
All right.
Now, it's the No Easy Way Out podcast. That hasn't changed, but today's episode is all about positivity. Now, Zach's a pretty positive guy.
So are you?
I'm a positive guy. We try to keep it 100 here in the office. Keep it positive every day, as the kids say. And but we thought, you know, we both said kind of thought, who are some of the most positive people that we've ever met?
Some names came to mind.
There was a short list.
And we brought them in.
But there were 2, as we funneled it out and as the cream rose to the top, there were 2 names that really stuck out to us.
Yeah.
And those are our guests today. I want to introduce you to, you've met before, Chuck Dodge, a.k.a. Mr. Enthusiasm. Let's welcome Chuck to the show. Chuck, thanks for being with us. Chuck is one of the most positive people I have ever met. Never seen him in a bad mood. Never seen him have a bad day.
Fact.
Even if he is, we didn't know about it because when we ask him, Chuck, how's your day going? What do you say?
It's always the best day ever, Tony.
Always the best day ever. And that is 100% truth. He always answers that. And then our next guest is someone that both of us know. This young man played on my basketball team, was Zach's teammate. Friends, and he is home from college because, you know, the world shut down the colleges. So he's kind of excited, and that is the one, the only Jackson Levesque. Jackson, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
My guy.
Now, Jackson is definitely our youngest guest ever. Jackson, what are you, 19?
19.
19 years old, but Jackson is another one of those just positive guys. Every time you see Jackson, he's got this grin from ear to ear on his face. Everyone's like, Jackson, what are you smiling about? He doesn't even know. He's just a positive guy. I dropped my daughter off down at college. Huge campus. We're walking around trying to get in. You see this kid just bouncing. Coming towards you, big old bright yellow Michigan hat on, smile from ear to ear, and sure enough, it was Action Jackson.
That's him. Yep.
Got to represent.
Jackson, we're happy to have you guys on the show today. Thank you for being with us. So I've kind of given a little bit about you, but why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are? We'll start with, you know, age before beauty.
Okay.
We'll start with Mr. Dodge, the youngest man ever. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, as a speaker, I recently rebranded my business, Double Win Enterprises, and Tony and Zach and Brenda all helped here at the at AZ. And I've always
Today's
been
episode is brought to you by AZ Business Solutions. Thanks for the plug.
I've always been a person that could see the other side of things. And look, we don't need things to make us happy. We can just be happy without anything. It's not circumstance dependent, in other words.
Right.
And when it started, I don't know. It probably started when I was just a young boy, younger
pup.
than Jackson.
Young pup.
A young pup. I grew up in foster homes. Now, I don't know how that impacted my life, but I was always, as I was growing up, looking out for other people. You might call them the underdogs or whatever. And I was just, that's just been the way I grew out of childhood.
Yeah. Well, we didn't know you then. We didn't know the young pup, but we certainly know the, we won't call you the old dog, but we'll call you the seasoned dog. How old are you in dog years, Mr. Dodge?
Well,
Like
71
300
times 7, so it'd be 497.
497 in dog years.
child.
That's amazing. And is it true that you can't teach an old dog new tricks?
Well, first of all, Tony, I'm not a dog, and I'm not here to do tricks, but
But you're learning new stuff all the time.
absolutely, yes.
You're learning new stuff all the time.
You know, look, one of the questions you asked me recently was, how come I'm happy all the time? What's the opposite? What's the alternative?
Yeah.
To walk around and going, Oh, God, wait a minute. There's enough of that. So I just want to be a bright light in other people's lives.
Well, and Mr. Dodge, I think I can speak for Zach. You have been a bright light in our lives here at AZ.
Absolutely.
Every day you come in, you always, even if things are a little tense or stress around the office, we try to hide it, but you always kind of decide to shed a bright light. You walk in with your little strut, and you open the door, and you give us the most firm embrace. The only person that hugs me as tightly as you do, and it's not going to be my wife. It's this guy, Action Jackson. Two of the best huggers I've ever
That's true.
met.
They're both huggers, yeah.
Jackson, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm 19, and I just, like Coach Tony said, I came from college.
Coach Tony, that's me.
I'm going down to Pensacola Christian College training for the ministry, and everything just got called off, so we're back home for a couple weeks. And I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to be able to spread a little bit of positivity with the people that are listening.
Now I've known Jackson forever since he was just a wee babe, and nobody would ever thought this guy would be studying for the ministry. But he went down there. Your original major was
I was a political science major.
political science. Yeah, we didn't see that one either, but we knew that something that would inspire people to be positive was in Jackson's future. And then just recently, he kind of surrendered his life to full-time Christian ministry. He's studying to be a pastor, following his father's footsteps.
Yeah.
His dad was my pastor for about 15 years, 20 years, something like that, and one of my mentors and someone I look up to very, very dearly. And so Jackson, Chuck, thanks for being on the show today. We just want to spread some positivity in the world today. So let's talk about that word, positivity. And we can cue the song. You got to accentuate the positive, eliminate all that negative.
You got to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative.
Don't forget to.
Don't
Don't
know
mess
it.
around with Mr. In Between.
Well, I'll help you look it up, Zach.
1945, Here Come the Waves.
Yes.
Johnny Mercer.
Johnny
Yikes.
Mercer. Yeah, that's a
I
good
didn't
one.
know that one. I wasn't ready.
World War II.
These young guys. So let's talk about positivity. What is positivity? We'll let each of you kind of go in your own term. But what is positivity, that word or that sentiment or that ideal? What does it mean to you?
To me, it's just a way of being, because if you look at positive and negative, it's just two sides of life, and it's energy. It's energy, and whatever words we have, there's a vibration to that. And you know that if someone is putting out good words, there's a good vibration. We can call it positive, and if it goes the other way, I'm getting bad vibes. Usually there's some negativity there. So it has a different reaction from people. So when I hear positivity, it's not good enough just to say be positive,
Right.
because people go, well, what does that? After a while, it becomes trite. You've got to. It's also a feeling. It's how you communicate what's going on. So it's
A mindset.
it is definitely it's a mindset, and I think right behind
choice.
positivity is optimism.
Yeah.
So that's when I see that, and that's what I see. And it's just a better choice to make. And
Yeah.
you've got to condition yourself to be positive.
And I agree, it is a mindset, but I also think it is a choice. Like, it is my
Absolutely.
choice to be positive. I don't have to be negative. I don't have to be positive, but I choose to be positive. I know I have a lot of friends and family that will refer to me as the eternal optimist.
Yes.
And most of the times they're saying it in kind of a sarcastic, almost a negative way. We're not supposed to say negative today, but it is. They're kind of they're being sarcastic. Like, oh, here comes the perspective of Mr. Eternal Optimist. And I guess to me, I just choose to look at the bright side of things, because, you know, I certainly my faith in God plays a huge role in that, and understanding, you know, His role in my life. But I just choose to not let negative things affect me. And I'm like you, like, I want to put out those positive vibrations. I want to make people smile. I want to make people have a better day. And at the times where I know that I've been played a part in somebody having a bad day, it certainly doesn't feel good. So why would I want to do that more often? But the times where someone's told me, hey, you really made my day, or you really helped me through that, well, that feels a lot better. So why would I not choose that all the time?
Yeah.
So Jackson, what about you? What is positivity? What does that mean to you?
To me, I think, like you said, I have a lot of people that come up to me and they ask me why I'm always smiling. And sometimes they say, like, do you even know what you're smiling about? Or, and now sometimes I just, I'm glad to be here. But
He has said that a lot. I'm glad to be here.
Just glad to be here.
to me, it's positivity. It's not ignorance. You're aware of what's going on around you, but it's finding the good in every situation, in everything that you're in, and not just having it for yourself, but showing others that there is something positive about this. And sometimes people find it as frustrating. You know, they're like, why are you trying to find the positive in this? Nothing positive can come from this. But if that's the way you look at life, then you're not going to get much out of life. So the people that I've most tried to shape my life after aren't negative people, they're positive people.
You're welcome.
That's been Coach Tony included. And that's just one of the biggest things when I look at somebody and I think I really want to be like that person. It's on my list, like number 1 or number 2 after like their spirituality is their positivity.
Yeah. What do you think, Zach? What does positivity mean to you?
Just don't be a downer, you know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of negative stuff going around the world, so don't be the one that keeps it that way, you know.
Yeah.
Just be cool, you know.
There's a pivotal question to ask, and it came from W. Clement Stone, who was a very successful insurance person. He said, whenever something would go wrong in his business and in life, what's good about this? That was the question. What's good about this? You don't ignore the problem, but you set the brain in motion to find out what's good about this. There isn't anything that's ever happened where there wasn't a positive to it. But if you're not looking for it, you don't find it.
Yeah.
You got to be looking for it. So what's
right.
good about this? What's good about the virus? When we get through this, the world will be transformed, I think, in a better way.
Yeah. Well, Romans 8:28, we said, we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them that are called according to his purpose, understanding that everything that's happening is part of his plan and his purpose, and that all things will work together for good. So Jackson said, just looking for the positive in the situation or looking for the good. You just refer to that as well. I know that is the key, that when you're faced with a bad situation or what seems to be a bad situation, and certainly there are things that are negative, no question about it. I mean, but there is something good that you can look and glean and find from the negative situation. And I just appreciate that you guys, whenever I've been around you, have determined to do that. And, it's something that I really try to focus on in my business and in my home. Certainly my clients, my family, my friends prefer to be around me when I'm in a good mood and when I'm positive. And so you mentioned earlier the antithesis of that. What's the opposite? It's negative. And I've never had a good day when I've been focusing on negative things.
Well, it's impossible to do that because if you think about thoughts are things, and you get to choose your thoughts. They're magnets.
Yeah.
So the more you think about something, the more it's going to accentuate and keep on going. So if you're worrying, the only way to stop worrying is to think a different thought going in another direction. One of my favorite series of verses is Matthew 6:25 through 33. The first three words in 25 in the NIV is do not worry. And you talked about worrying. So some people.
For those of you KJVers out there, I think it's be careful for nothing. But hey.
Okay. Thank you, Tony. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But and as you say, I have a bird feeder out in my front yard, and in that verse it says, "Doesn't your heavenly Father take care of the birds in the air and the lilies in the field, and aren't you more important than they?" And I realized that when I fill that bird feeder up, God's working through me, so I better keep it full because he's got my back. I'm taking care of his birds, and he's got to take care of me. It was just a funny analogy I discovered one day, but that's the way it works.
Yeah,
And we got to teach ourselves this.
Yeah.
It's teachable stuff.
Yeah.
Just need Action Jackson and Mr. Enthusiasm around.
We'll just keep you guys around. Well, hey, you're always talking about colors. I wore today my orange and blue because I Googled Wikipedia, YouTube research, what colors represent positivity. It said orange and blue. So that's why I'm wearing this shirt today.
So I'm drinking orange juice, and I'm wearing blue. I'm just like you.
Whoa!
Feel that, Chuck?
Mind blown. Well, guys, I mean, I know Jackson. I feel like as long as I've known you, you've always been this way. I've never seen, that I can remember, you kind of have a problem with being positive. But Mr. Dodge, you said you grew up in foster care, which certainly for a lot of people can be a very negative situation. But was there a moment where you pulled a Tom Brady and just flipped a switch? Finished. What did he finish in the combine? Tom Brady.
He was drafted in the 7th round. I know that.
7th round.
199th.
You see the video. If you see the videos of him, we're Tom Brady fans because we're Michigan fans. We see the videos of Tom Brady, just kind of this slow, unathletic guy. Wasn't great in college, decent, but then became like the greatest football player of all time. He just decided one day, I'm going to start winning Super Bowls. I'm going to be the GOAT.
I'm going to be a champion.
Now he's going to the Buccaneers. We got to spin that in a positive light somehow.
Not yet. We're not ready yet.
We're not ready for that one yet. But have you always been positive about things? Have you always had this mindset? Is something you learned over time, or was there a moment or something that happened that you just decided, you know what, I'm going to change the script. I'm going to flip the script.
Let me just say, there wasn't one moment. In 1980, I became single through that event called
the year
the
I was
divorce.
born.
What?
That's the year I was born.
So he got a divorce.
That's 40 years ago. Yeah,
Yes, it was.
that began my process. I remember I began reading the Bible. It was The Way, because it was a really looser translation, and I began studying about God and Jesus, and my spiritual life began to develop. And it kept on going, and I kept on studying, and I've always been, I know that I certainly believe in God without a doubt, because there are some situations that I was in that, you when you're in them, it's difficult to see your way out. Then when you get out, you go, whoa, that was you, God. I got that. And there wasn't any one moment, and I think my story, being age 71 here, is to let people know you just keep going. Yeah. Everything matters. I was reluctant in creating, especially financial success, but it doesn't mean that I wasn't successful. And a lot of times people put the money as, hey, when I get that, I'll be successful.
Right.
That's part of it, but success is loving each other and doing things for other people as well. And in the past few years, I think when I joined Toastmasters in '95, that really turned on my life a lot, because I was learning to communicate better and helping other people get rid of that, if you will, that fear of public speaking. And that was a pivotal moment. But it was all working together. It was all together, and I do know now that things were always working out for me.
Yeah.
So the story is, I flattened the curve, dude.
Yes, you did. Hashtag flatten the curve.
I flattened
Right
the
here.
curve.
Link below.
It took a long time, but that's okay. I'm here, and I'm here to awaken other people my age, and also to collaborate with folks that
Like Action Jackson.
Action Jackson. Yeah.
Do you have nicknames for Zach and I? On the spot? Anybody?
Well, Zach.
Not that he can say on camera.
We go Zach. We go Zachly.
Zachly? We do call him Zachly.
We'll say
Exactly.
We'll say something instead of exactly. Exactly.
Coach T.
Because
I'm always teaching.
Coach T. We
And when
call
you're
him
around
Nash
me,
Man.
and when you're in my presence, you're always learning, right? Just kidding.
Yes.
Just kidding.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I was hoping somebody would jump on that one. All right. Well, Mr. Dodge, you have a quote that you shared with us recently about not being able to afford the luxury of a negative. Was it the luxury of a negative thought?
Yeah. Yes. It's a title of a
said
book
that?
by Peter McWilliams. You cannot afford the luxury of a negative thought. And there are people that I think they think it's just a joy, or it is a luxury to be negative. And many people don't realize how toxic it is.
Yeah.
Negative thinking is toxic.
Yeah.
And we talk about the virus today. A lot of people are going to get it because they expect to get it.
Yeah.
It's the biology of belief.
Sure.
It's like, I'll use this example. And you have a huge household, and I don't know what your beliefs are about getting the illness, but say someone gets the flu. All right. And it's going through the house, and we talk like, I'm next. The flu's going around,
It's
and
gonna
that means
happen.
I'm getting it. Well,
yeah.
when the flu comes around, it goes right around me.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we've got to talk.
Deflecting it.
Absolutely. We've got to expect different things, but when that negative gets in there, it takes you off what's really possible going the other way.
Yeah.
I'm attempting to think of a Bible verse that would address the negativity. Double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. That's one.
Yeah.
But so
Yeah. Well, certainly there's some scientific data that will support this idea of psychosomatic. The brain controls everything else. So thinking negatively will bring negativity into your life, certainly even into your health. But that's a good, I think, transition. I want to just get very real right now, because we are living today, March 18th, 2020. We are living in an unprecedented time. We are living in a time that I've never seen in my life, and I don't know that you've ever seen anything like this in your life, where the coronavirus, which started as kind of this thing that we should all think about and be aware of, but was downplayed. It wasn't that big of a deal. And then it became a little bit bigger and then a little bit bigger. And people started to react. And then I think about 3-4 weeks ago, or maybe 3 weeks ago, I don't know, a lot's happened in like 2 weeks. So I guess it hasn't even really been that long. But 2 weeks ago, the NBA decided they're going to cancel the season or postpone the season. And so then a lot of people were like, whoa, maybe this is a little more serious than I thought. Well, then the March Madness decided to cancel, which was a sad day for all of us. Try to put a positive spin on that for a basketball fan. But that's a multi-billion-dollar event that is huge, not only economically, but for the lives of all these young boys and girls who, train their whole lives to have the opportunity to play in March Madness, and some of them might not get that opportunity. So then now even more people started to think, well, wow, maybe this thing is a little more. But even then it was like, well, those are big organizations. We can see mass gatherings. Well, then it got down to schools canceling, and it became more real to close to home, and then colleges canceling. And now it's gotten to the point where restaurants are closing early. You can't eat inside, and grocery stores are having limited hours, and people are hoarding all the toilet paper because they think, they think they're not going to be able to wipe their butts for the next 8 weeks. And the farther it keeps going down the chain, now we just hear that the state of Kansas canceled school for the rest of the year, the rest of the semester. And so how many people will follow suit? And so I think everybody, even those that are being very lighthearted about it, are now having to take a moment and pay attention and say, all right, I got to do something. I can't just be irresponsible about this. I need to be conscientious of the way other people are feeling. And even in my heart, like I still don't have a lot of worry. And sometimes I wonder, is my worry gene broken? Because I just don't worry about stuff. It's not even that I'm purposing not to worry, but I feel the stress of coworkers. I feel the stress of my family, of my friends and loved ones. Yeah. And anything that's going on in my mind is almost like I want to be a light to them. Less about how it's affecting me. And again, that's not even a conscientious choice that I'm trying to be selfless. It's just that's the way my mind works. I'm more concerned for those around me and how it's affecting them. And even the choices I make, I want to make sure that I'm not making decisions based on how I view it at the detriment of somebody else. By me not being careful, I'm putting somebody else at risk. And so, man, there's just a crazy amount of things happening in the world. You turn on the news. The other day I had on my computer in front of me, I had Fox News playing. And on the TV behind us, I had CNN playing at the same time. And it's like, who do you even believe? Because they're both reporting the exact same story, and it's completely opposite. It's different. CNN's headlines were all, huge red letters, global pandemic, crisis, panic, paranoia. These are the words they're using. And so you watch that, and you're like, And Fox News is trying to put a positive spin on it, but even, some of their words were a little like haphazard and kind of casually throwing it away. Yeah. So people that watch that are thinking, it's not that big a deal. People that watch the other one are going and buying 6 cases of toilet paper. And so who do you believe? You scroll up and down Facebook, and it's just fake news after fake news, hashtag fake news. You don't know what to believe. How do you choose who to believe? You hear the president come on, and from my perspective, I don't care, whatever you think about the president, I think he's done a pretty good job of alleviating my concerns and fear. I think he's put a lot of people, experts, professionals in place quickly, and this has been decisive. I know a lot of people would disagree with that, but that's how I feel about it. So everyone's kind of having to decide, who do I believe? Which news outlet am I going to listen to? Which Facebook post am I going to read and think there's credence to it? And so a lot of people today are struggling to find any reason to be positive. So what would you say to them?
Okay. You want to go first on that one?
I'll go first. I'll let you get your answer.
Sure. Go ahead.
I would say, like you said, what is positivity to me? It's not ignorance. It's like there is a bad situation going on in the world, and people either panicking, and it's not something to just like let go, like to not be haphazard about. But at the same time, I would say take a minute and count your blessings and realize all the things you do have, all the things that maybe we didn't have before this happened. I know I left school, all my friends, left my sports, but I got to come home to my family, and I got to come home to Michigan, the state they love. I got to come home to my home church. And so even through all this craziness and all this panic in the world, there's still so much good.
Yeah.
And I would say right now, if you're having a hard time, especially with everything that's going on, just take a minute and count your blessings.
Yeah, it's a good advice. That's a 19-year-old young man's perspective. He hasn't bought into the paranoia. He's real. He recognizes there are some negative things happening, but look at all the positivity around you. Look at the blessings. It's good stuff. Good stuff.
Let's address
Proud
the
moment.
7.1. There you go.
let's address the two news outlets. When you look at Fox News, there tends to be, I think, more of a fair, balanced. When I attempted to watch,
I believe that's their motto. Fair
it
and
is.
balanced.
I've attempted to watch CNN. Their agenda is still to go after Trump, and that's the underlying focus there. And so they bring on their people.
Anything that can put Trump in a negative
Absolutely.
light, they'll spin
But
it.
let's go back to what Trump does. He's what do they got? A 1.2 trillion amount of money that they're going to hand out to people. I mean,
It's just that's
so
just-
there's look for the things. Look into it and see what gives you hope. Because again, what's good about this? There's two ways to live life. You can live life as a creator or a proactor or a reactor. Be a creator. Create your own what you want. I'm not saying ignore this. No. Find the blessings in it, like Jackson's talking about, because there's something good about it. Mm-hmm. And I know Linda posted from Canada. She said,
shout out to Linda Todd.
yes, Linda Marie Todd, the love of my life.
Chuck's
Yep.
love, yep.
And she posted, it was just beautiful. And she just said, if there's anybody that needs anything, let me know, I'll help. And that's what's going to happen. People are going to start helping one another, delivering food to people who need it.
Yeah.
Think about the people who founded this country.
Yeah.
They were pioneers. We can be a pioneer in our own life today, and I call it ignite the pioneering spirit within us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
You're the
great
pioneer man too, aren't you?
I'm the pioneer guy.
stuff. Zach, you got anything to contribute to that?
I think the pioneer man pretty much covered it all. Yeah, I'm good.
Well, I come into the office yesterday, and Zach, who's normally very, he's an active guy.
I'm active.
He's a happy guy. He just sensed something was off. I'm like, you all right, man? And, even he was like, not him. Even he was like, this whole thing is it's making me think.
Yeah.
It's making me think. It's a weight. It can burden you down. And then we actually had a conversation with the two of you and some other people, and it just immediately kind of lifted our spirits, because I do think that sometimes a bad situation can bring out the best in people. It can bring out the worst too. But if you remember 9/11, and I'm sure Jackson and Zach don't remember, but we remember how the citizens of New York came together like never before. I mean, it was, if you've been to New York City, which I have many times, people will flip you off for, stepping in front of them or, dropping something on the ground. They'll push you out of the way to get into the store first. I mean, it's not necessarily known for its friendly environment. But in that time, man, people just came out in droves, helping each other, offering a hand. And I think that you're going to see that happening here over the coming weeks. And certainly, I understand if you're watching this and you're struggling with something to be positive about. I think take this advice and count your blessings. Look at this is an opportunity to be close to your friends and family, your loved ones. Keep them close. My daughter's home from college, so I know she'd rather be down there finishing her semester, but she gets to finish it here at home in her bedroom. I mean, and we get to be around her. We get to see her. And then certainly make it a point. Determine. Be a creator, not a reactor. Create how you're going to perceive this and how you're going to be positive. We really are blessed, and maybe your biggest fears are losing some of the luxuries that you have. I know there are some people right now that are really very afraid about what might happen to them from a health standpoint, from an economic standpoint. Am I going to be able to pay my bills? Is there going to be enough food? Those are very real concerns, and I don't want to dismiss those or throw them under the rug like they don't exist. But I think if you allow yourself to dwell on those things, it's going to make things 100 times worse. But if you purpose to dwell on the positive, to accentuate the positive, to think about the things in life that are good and that can be, think about how you can help your fellow man. You know, there's a quote that I share with my basketball team all the time that says, none of us are as good as all of us. So we come together with social distancing, keeping ourselves, you know,
Under groups of 10.
Yes. We have a podcast of 4 today. You know, we be smart. We washing our hands. We're doing all those things, but that we try to find the best in other people, try to be a help, and try to.
You're only as strong as your weakest link. Remember that.
Yeah.
That's what you told us when we were on the team.
Was that my
You said it
quote?
specifically to Zach a lot.
None of us were any stronger than Zach, so.
Wilson, Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson. Okay. Sorry, Dubs. That one was for you.
Throwing you under the rug.
All right.
Sorry, I
so,
interrupted you. What were you saying?
No, that's it. That's it. I had it all. So I guess I want to go around. I just said what I wanted to say, and so I would like to give each of you the opportunity. What would you want to say to the world right now? Now, I can assure you the world is not watching. There's like 7 of you. Thank you for tuning in. But let's just say the world was watching, or somebody that's hurting right now or worried is watching. What would you want to say to them? Anybody want to jump in first?
Well, sure. This is all about, in the beginning, it's about thought and your habits and conditioning, and knowing that you can think a different thought. Now, I am Mr. Enthusiasm, and one of the best books ever written was by Norman Vincent Peale, The Power of Positive Thinking. And he also wrote another book called Enthusiasm Makes the Difference. We all have traits that we can allow to express. And I want to read this. This was in Enthusiasm Makes a Difference. Enthusiasm equals love. And how does one have enthusiasm in life? Actually, it's as simple as this. Cultivate the ability to love living, love people, love the sky under which you live, love beauty, love God. The person who becomes enthusiastic, filled with sparkle and joy of life, and then he goes on to fill it full of meaning. If you're not enthusiastic, begin to cultivate the love of living. There's too many people that don't enjoy their life. They're going to jobs they don't like, they're doing stuff they don't want to do, and then they complain about it.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
goodness, God is infinite. If you're doing something you don't want to do, then I know
something
it's
else.
easier said than don't do it. Figure out over time on how to do something different. And be true to yourself. Express yourself. So that's the enthusiasm. And the last 4 letters in enthusiasm, IASM, which means I am sold myself. So
I was
sell
trying to
yourself.
figure out what iasm spelled, but I see it's an
And then
acrostic.
We knew it was
but
something good.
the most important part of that is it's from 2 Greek words, en theos, which means the God within or the Spirit within. Pay attention to your own life. The answers to your life are in your life, and let that express that. Too many people have shut down, and they just. One of my favorite phrases is TGIM on Monday. Thank God it's Monday, another week to enjoy and excel.
Yeah.
I want to live 7/7 of my life, not 2/7.
Right.
So you just find information, read books, listen to YouTube videos, watch the No Easy Way Out podcast.
That'll
But
help.
Think differently and expect different results.
Yeah.
And
And another way to say 7/7 is, as the kids say, hunt it.
Run it.
7/7 of your life.
Yeah,
live
be
your
on all
life
the time, yeah.
100.
Be
I
on
think
all
that's
the
how you
time.
say it. I
Yeah.
can't do it. Well, Chuck, I honestly, I'll joke is that I appreciate you sharing that wisdom with us. You know, we are all younger guys. Some of us younger than
I'm
others.
the youngest man alive, yeah.
Yeah. but sharing that wisdom with us and with our audience, I really appreciate it. All right. Jackson, Action Jackson, what would you want to say?
I would say, coming from a position of being 19 and having never lived through something like this, and I know it's getting pretty out of proportion to where nobody has lived through something like this, where everything's shutting down. One, for those of you guys who are working on finding a positive spin, do count your blessings, start your day off every day with that. But for those people who are positive, like Mr. Dodge over here, and just be intentional about finding people that aren't and sharing your light, sharing Christ with them. Because right now there's such an opportunity in the world.
Yeah.
Like, people are looking. Usually you'll go out to talk to people and there's not a lot of receptiveness or there's not a lot of welcomeness. But right now people need an answer and they need love.
Yeah.
And so right now there's such a good opportunity. and I know like social distancing, but if you have the opportunity, even if it's with your family, because right now you're with who you're with, and you're probably gonna be with them for a little bit. So just make sure that if you're not the most positive one of the bunch, you can work on it. You can start counting your blessings. But if you are, make sure that you're spreading it and that you're showing others why you're positive.
Yeah, that's great. And, we are living in a technological world where, even though social distancing is recommended, we do have the opportunity to still communicate, even face-to-face, with our loved ones.
Yeah.
And so make sure you're doing it. Zach, you got anything to say to the world?
Yeah, I would say, listen to some good music, feeling good. And also watch some good
Who sings that?
short films. I don't know who sings that.
Let's let them sing it.
Watch some good short films.
Yes, good
There's
short film.
Operation Sanders out there. The link is in the description to watch that. Check it out and see if you like
Plug
it.
in the merch. Operation Sanders will make you laugh. I got to admit.
It did make me laugh.
It will. So, if you need a lighthearted moment, watch Operation Sanders. Watch Moving Forward.
Moving forward.
There's some good ones out there by directors. Zack.
You're in that one, aren't you,
I
Chuck?
do want to say one
And
thing.
Chuck Dodge is in one of those movies, makes a guest appearance.
Okay,
He doesn't want to talk
one of
about
the
it.
questions that you were going to ask me is, who do I look up to? And
Not yet. Don't tell me yet. Oh, you can tell me, but we're going to ask you again.
all right. I feel like I'm in the bonus round with Linda Marie Todd.
Okay.
A relationship. She's the love of my life, and it really has. I was positive before, but just the connection with her is just amazing. She's brilliant, and I look up to her.
Get yourself a Linda if you can, but not Linda Todd. She's taken. She's taken.
Anyway,
Link in bio.
but the point is if you keep going, if you
Her
flatten
Tinder
the
link in
curve,
bio.
things will. It was unexpected, but yet I can see that it had to be.
Yeah.
God is just amazing.
All right.
Amazing. Okay.
Well, I appreciate it. We're gonna do something fun now. All right, we're gonna do something fun. We all everything we just said was from the bottom of our hearts. We might not
Been
be
having
saying
fun
all
this whole time.
Yeah, we might not be all saying the right things. We're just saying from our heart what we believe and what we feel. And truly, I'm sitting at a table with 4 people that have chosen to be positive, even in this negative time. I mean, listen, I have 6 kids and a family that's relying on me to handle this the right way. They're relying on me to live. I got to provide for them. So that concern is a weight, but I'm choosing to let them see me be positive and count my blessings and be a creator. I like those things. And to watch short films. So all good advice
Operation
today.
Sanders.
Operation Sanders. All right.
You're in Moving Forward,
So
remember, Chuck?
Zach and I have
Watch that one, too.
Zach and I have some words here that maybe have a negative connotation. Well, we're going to say a phrase or a word. We're going to show our audience how easy it is to take a negative and make it a positive. So we're going to give you a phrase or a word, and then you're going to give us a positive way to say that phrase or word back to us. Okay?
So are they spinning first, or is not for
No,
this
we're going
one?
to spin.
Okay,
we're going to
okay.
spin it to win it. We're going to say it in 60 after this. Okay.
After this, okay.
Separate
So,
segment.
all right.
Might be.
So, here's one that you hear people say, I hate something. I hate liver. I hate doing this job. I hate this person. How do you take the word I hate and make that a positive?
Well, first of all, it implies it's something else. Whenever I've heard that word, I don't like it. I prefer this
Yeah.
over that.
So you focus on the negative thing that you love instead of the thing that you
Absolutely,
don't
yes.
love. Okay. I was going to say the phrase, I don't believe it.
Oh, Tony, that's my wheelhouse. All right, so here's what I don't believe it. People say this when something's happened right in front of them, and they'll say, I don't believe it, and they're looking at it, and it's like, my question is if you're seeing something and you don't believe it because you said it, how can you develop faith from that perspective?
Yeah.
Because faith is the substance of things unseen so that it will be seen. I know what's going on there. They go, I don't believe it. Wow, that's pretty sensational, would be
Yeah,
I know I gave you a little bit in between there.
How about I'm not good at? Yesterday I said I'm not good at. Was it good at remembering names? I can't
No,
remember.
memory.
I'm not good at memory. I'm not good at memory
As a whole.
As a whole, I forget everything. There was something I said I'm not
why you
good at. I
forgot
thought
what
it
he
was
said.
remembering.
Probably remembering names.
Yeah,
or
I'm not good at remembering
Yeah.
names, and you corrected me right on the spot.
Well, the point is do you want to be good at it? And
You had a
said
solution
yes.
for that,
Then
yeah.
say, I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better at remembering names.
Yeah.
Focus on what you want, not what you don't want.
How about this one right here?
What about I'm a senior citizen?
That's definitely for me.
Yeah, we don't
All
say
right,
stuff.
You
so
get that a lot, Jack.
I shifted to senior citizen because I observed when McDonald's was open, I'd watch people go up and order a senior coffee. They would have low energy and low breathing, and I thought I couldn't do that. So we're now mountain toppers. And think about mountain toppers.
Trailblazers.
Another mountain to climb, another mountain. We've got things to do. We've got projects to do.
Yeah.
Here's one for you. What about I'm too busy?
Oh yeah.
When someone says, no, I can't, I'm too busy, what do you say to those guys?
You make time for what you love, so.
Oh.
I mean, that's not
What
really
are
a
you
positive spin. That's just showing you where your heart's
That's
at.
good.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Here's what I have. I've spent a lot of time on that one. I'm focused.
I'm focused.
See, when you say I'm too busy, you could allow someone to have a feeling guilty. Not that you're responsible for their feelings.
That means I'm not
Right.
focused.
You can make
right?
them feel not loved.
Absolutely.
Or like
You could
not
say,
important.
you could be talking to your
I'm too
parents and they
busy
say,
for you.
hey, Jackson, would you do something for me? No, ma'am, I'm too busy, Mom. Oh, you're too busy for me. The
I'll
lady that
never
gave
say
you
that,
birth.
Mom.
But if you said to her, I'm focused, Mom, and she'd go, oh, okay, Jackson.
Yeah.
Finish that in.
Yeah.
So it's just a shift, but it's a huge shift.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I'm focused.
A
instead
huge
of-
shift.
I'm never busy.
Last one.
Okay.
And I like that because I get to places sometimes where I feel like I'm too busy.
Sure.
But that's a better way to say it. And we're talking about here the power of language.
Absolutely.
The words that you say, even though maybe all of these, like I said earlier, people call me the eternal optimist in a negative light. Maybe even the words you're using might not seem like they're negative, but you're saying them in a positive light. And that language, it speaks something into the environment. It speaks something into the air, and it makes people look at things in a negative way. So the last one I want to give you here is, I wish. I wish I could. I wish I was. I wish I were. I wish I had. What's
You
a
know what
better
I
way?
would say to that?
What would you say to that?
I would say put in the work.
Put in the work.
Stop wishing and start doing.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I mean, that's along the lines of what I would say is you don't need to wish stuff. You do got to put in the work. And as far as a positive spin, you can say I'm working towards.
Yeah. I'm working towards.
I want to deflect that. I want to address one on that list. The word should. Now, the word should implies being wrong. I should do this, but I didn't. You should have done that, but you didn't. So we need to really stop shooting on ourselves.
I like that.
And start
Right.
shooting on someone else.
And
And if you need toilet paper,
that's right.
you can't get
There's-
any right now.
But think about it when you use the word should. We don't know what. Well, we know what it means for us. I could have done something else, but we don't really know what anybody else should do.
Yeah.
So we're making them wrong if they don't do it. So it has no room in our vocabulary.
So I think we just found out the name of today's podcast. Stop shooting on yourself.
exactly.
That's gold, Mr. Dodge. All right, so last question I guess I really want to say is, when somebody says to you, how you doing? What's the best answer?
Well, for me, it's always the best day ever.
Today is the best
That's
day
what
ever.
works for you.
It's the best day ever.
What about you, Jackson?
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Every time.
Zach, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you? That's my answer.
That is true.
That's just
Zach.
casual. How you doing?
Now, I when I was in the hotel industry for a long time, my employees were not allowed to say, when somebody would say, how are you today, or how's it going, my employees were not allowed to say the phrase, I'm okay, or it's okay. It was forbidden. If they said it, I would actually get written up for that. So I would tell them, I always say, I'm great. How are you? I'm great. And I truly believe that I am great. I feel that way. I've chosen to be that way. So choose to be positive. Choose to respond in a positive light. Count your blessings. All of these things are good. All right. Are we ready to
I
say
think we're ready
60?
to say in 60, yeah.
All right. So first, we're going to let Mr. Dodge go first.
We have fabulous prizes lined
First,
up here.
Mr. Dodge, you're going to spin the wheel.
Okay.
I'm going to give you, hold on. I'm going to give you 10 questions, and you got to answer them in 60 seconds. And if so, you can go home with one of these fabulous prizes. So let's spin the wheel, see what you got.
I will need a roll.
Push that
So you
button
can
in
read
the
out
middle.
loud what your prizes are
Push,
first.
push that button in the middle right there.
Oh,
Let us know what you're playing for. What are you playing
He
for?
spun it. It's been in.
well, what do you mean? We know what it is.
What
is it?
Toilet paper.
Oh, today you could be going home with a roll of 2-ply Charmin Ultra Soft. This stuff is a commodity right now.
I know.
You could probably trade this for a home
No,
at this
no,
point.
I'll need one in about 30 days.
Okay. So you can
Can you keep it or trade for another one?
you can TP it forward. New hashtag TP it forward. You can gift this to somebody
Oh,
else.
yeah, that is
But if you can
hilarious.
say it in 60, you're going to go home today with a roll of the Charmin double extra roll.
Okay.
One of these rolls is like 72 actual rolls because of how many plies it is. At least that's what it said on the bag. Okay.
Thanks, Charmin.
Are we ready? Timer
Fake
on the
news.
clock?
Y'all ready for
Right.
this?
All right.
Your time starts now.
What's your favorite quote?
I'm going with 2 Timothy 1:7. God didn't give us a spirit of fear, but of love, power, and self-discipline or sound mind.
All right. Who do you look up to?
Right now, Linda Marie Todd.
What is success to you?
It's the progressive realization of predetermined goals.
All right. What is your favorite app?
Sirius XM,
All right. What is a must-read book?
the greatest salesman in the world, and my friend Zack and Jackson's going home with it.
Oh, all right. What is a daily habit that everyone should do?
Gratitude, as Zack and Jackson talked about. Count your blessings.
All right, 20 seconds. What is your favorite podcast?
No easy way out.
Good answer.
Correct.
What is a must-watch TV show or movie?
The ultimate gift.
10 seconds.
Last one. What's your best piece of advice?
Just be yourself.
Be yourself.
Be yourself.
you.
Be you.
And
There
with
you
5
go.
seconds to spare, Mr. Dodge, you are going
That's
home with a
one
roll
of-
of toilet paper. Let's give him a big
Good
studio
for
audience.
you, man. Good for you.
Play in front of a studio audience today. All
I was
right.
wondering. I only have one left, so now that.
There you go. All right, Jackson, it's your
that.
turn. Jackson, it's your turn to spin the wheel. Let's get that.
Oh,
let's
yeah.
get the wheel ready for
Get the
Jackson.
wheel back.
It's looking real nice.
I got it.
Oh. All right, Jackson. Go ahead and spin the wheel. Let's see what you're playing for.
You got options.
A lot of options on here. Let's see though.
Flip, flip. What?
You guys won't believe it, but
What'd he get?
I am also playing for toilet paper.
Oh, another roll of toilet paper. We got 2 in the house. I mean, this was
What a
like
timely prize.
this was like Willy Wonka's.
Exactly.
This was like Willy Wonka's
I'll be honest, it was
golden
rigged.
ticket. This is
whole
like Willy
system is
Wonka's
corrupt.
golden ticket right now. All right, Jackson, you need this. You got a big family.
You get the rest of my orange juice.
Yeah,
and
on my
also-
way home from Florida, I literally stopped at a Sam's Club to buy a pack of toilet paper because of how scarce it is here.
And I could see Jackson
Just hold
carrying
that.
that thing proudly, smile on his face, bouncing through.
People are looking at me like, "There's one of you. Why do you need a 72 pack of that?"
And I also want to ask: has anyone ever met a 19-year-old with a Sam's Club membership?
Wasn't my membership, but we don't get into that.
Jackson is an anomaly.
That's
All
another podcast.
All right, Jackson, are you ready?
I am.
All right, say it in 60.
Your time starts now.
What is your favorite quote?
Surround yourself with positive people.
Who do you look up to?
My father.
What is success
My
to
heavenly
you?
Father.
Pointing people to Jesus Christ.
All right, what is your favorite app?
Instagram or Spotify.
All right, what is a must-read book?
Discipline Equals Freedom by Jocko Willink.
Ooh, Jocko. What is a daily habit everyone should do?
Other than count your blessings, read your Bible, pray.
All right, besides the No Easy Way Out podcast, what is your favorite podcast?
The Jocko Willink podcast.
All right, who do you look up to?
My father.
Oh, I already asked that question.
Yeah.
Do you still?
What order are you asking?
You
me?
got 25
That's the
seconds.
memory.
25 seconds. What is a must-watch movie or TV show?
Oh, remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans?
Hands down.
All right, last one with 15 seconds to go. What is your best piece of advice?
Just be intentional about, especially in this time, being positive to people.
Yeah.
I
And
think
with-
that counts.
With
Yep.
10 seconds to spare. Jackson, you get to join the studio audience. Give him a big round
Studio
of applause.
audience, why are you not applauding? Let me just say real quick that Tony has his question number 2 as who you look up to, and his third to last is who do you look up to?
Yeah,
That's
so-
why he got mixed up there.
Well, it is 2 different questions, maybe.
Yeah, I must have wrote those. I guess.
That goes back to the memory we talked about earlier.
who you look up to and who do you look up to is the power of language, right?
There you go.
Well, guys, thank you for being on the show today. We appreciate it. We hope that we spread a little bit of positivity to you. Guys, you got any final words for our audience?
Exactly. There is no way to enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is the way.
You should have let us finish that one. We knew that one. He says
Okay.
that all the time.
There is no way to enthusiasm.
Enthusiasm is the way. That's right. All right.
It's good.
Any-
Hard to go after that, but
Yeah, I don't have a one-liner yet.
That's good. Yeah, I don't have a one-liner yet. I'm only 19, but I would just say be the light in other people's lives today.
Be the light.
Yeah.
And Jack's wearing his nice Multiply Worship gear today. MultiplyWorship.co. Check him out. There's some great merch. Identify
Get my
yourself
merch.
with worshipers. All right, Zach. Any
Yeah,
final
just
words?
watch Operation Sanders and listen to Feeling Good.
Shameless,
Like I should.
shameless plug once again.
I do it every episode.
Every episode, and still no
Until
one's
somebody
watching.
watches it. Yeah.
But somebody please watch it so he can stop plugging it. Well, thank you again for being joining us today. We hope that in the midst of all that's going on, you'll take some time to be positive, surround yourself with your loved ones, make sure that you look at what's really important in life, find a way to help somebody else, find a way to be a blessing to somebody, and realize that you have all that you need. My favorite verse in the Bible is Philippians 4:11. It says, "Not that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned in whatsoever state I am, therewith to be content."
Amen.
We really are blessed beyond measure. We have more than we could ever need. And maybe you're out there thinking, I don't have more than I can ever need. I encourage you to really sit down and count the things that you do have and focus your attention on what you do have and not what you don't have, and what is and not what might be. And if you need someone to talk to, you can reach out to us. You can email us. You can call us here at the show, 844-360-AZ. You can contact us if you need someone to talk to. We're happy to help you. And again, we really appreciate you watching. As we always say, as my mother always says, actually, you can't and never could until you tried. So go out there and try something great, my friends. Even now, go out there and try something great, and don't take the easy way out.
We'll see you next time.